What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king, welcoming you back to more Let's Play Shadow of the Colossus. In the last episode, we talked about the 8 Colossus that were cut from this game before it was ever released, a lot of which fans lament the cutting of, but we kind of went into detail about why some of them are cut and things like that, the unfortunate reasoning behind it, but also, you know, it had to happen. Some things just have to happen the way they do. And unfortunately, you just got to live with it. And in this episode, we are going to be discussing a few more things. And I'm going to be grabbing a crap ton of fruit because this tree has, oh, so much of it. Look at this. Look at all this fruit. You want another big old fruit tree. This is your tree right here. And I got to say, coming over to this area of the map, it really is kind of sad that both Sirius and... Oh, come on. Can I actually hit this? Apparently, I can't hit that fruit. Come on now. A little higher? My goodness, that is really finicky. Yeah, they definitely they made the fruit look better and bigger and bloom more, and yet they didn't really change the hitboxes in the remake. So that's something I'm noticing that I'm not the biggest fan of. But what are you gonna do? So anyway, it is kind of a shame that this whole area was just kind of left barren, and that there's really nothing left. I mean, this is where you would have fought Sirius and the Devil, and both of those fights were scrapped, and there's really just nothing here. Well, actually, except for the final fight, but we'll get into that in a bit. For now, I kind of want to talk about some things that were actually added to the remake. So you saw in the last episode, I grabbed a little gold shiny thing over by Sirius's area, just over there, over that Stonehenge thing. And that is just one of many of those collectibles. I don't remember the exact count, and you're going to have to do more research. This is something I have not pursued yet and probably won't for a very long time because it is one of those collectibles that's a little bit arbitrary. But beyond the time attack modes that have been introduced, or that are in Shadow of the Colossus, that allows you to get all sorts of, or all manner of unlockables, they have introduced a new unlockable in this game that requires you to collect all of those gold shimmery coins. That is what they are, they're coins. And they are placed all over the game. There are guides out there to get them. I already know some people have collected all of them. And there is, in fact, a reward for getting all of them. Now, before you get your hopes up and think it's something really big, it's not like a Colossus fight or anything. It's nothing like that. It's not any added content like that. It's just another item that you can use, which did disappoint some people, but at least Blue Point took the time to add it in, which I do think is very, very cool. Again, a lot more people are more informative than I on this. I am not going to be making a guide on where to collect all these, just because it's really one of the most arbitrary things ever. The item that they give you, in fact, is actually in some ways worse than, or is really unnecessary after you've beaten all of the time attack modes. I guess if you want to be a collector, rather than have to get really good at the game and beat all the time attack modes, if you want a weapon that can pretty much insta-kill bosses, this is the way to do it. But it has its ups and its downs as well, so it's really up to you if you want to make it worth your while. If you really want to, you know, indulge in exploration, this is probably the best thing you can get in this game now. So they are scattered all throughout the game, and there are tons, and I mean, like, absolutely way too many to even comprehend. They're all over the place, but that is one of the very few features that they added to the remake, aside from, like, horse skins and things like that. Like the one I have right now. I still think Aggro looks so good this way, doesn't he? So the rest of this episode, I kind of wanted to dedicate it a little bit to exploration, just to kind of getting a good look at the rest of the Forbidden Lands and all of the changes that have been made. I'm not going to be like stopping and grabbing fruit or lizard tails. I really don't need them, first of all. Second of all, it's just kind of a waste of time. I kind of want to keep riding around the place, and I want to actually show some locations and show how they've changed, and show some notable things. If I can, though, my end goal for this entire video is to find the Eco Cliffs. And what I mean by the Eco Cliffs, and I don't want to spoil anything for Eco itself, because I actually do want to someday I do want to actually let's play the game. But I don't want to spoil too much, because the Eco Cliffs are technically a spoiler for the game itself. But there is a certain instance in the game of Eco where you do end up on a beach, and there are these giant cliffs jutting out of the ground, or jutting out of the ground. Yeah, I guess you could say that, or going to... They're cliffs, okay? They're cliffs. I can't, apparently I can't articulate today. What even are cliffs, apparently, to me? But yeah, giant cliffs, and they run along a beach, and those exact cliffs and that beach, which are of tremendous significance, are actually in Shadow of the Colossus. They are in the Forbidden Lands. Now, in the PS2 version, it's a little less obvious, I would say. In fact, a lot of people have gone out of their way to disprove this theory, but even if it isn't supposed to be an exact replica, or they just kind of remade them from memory rather than actually trying to copy them into the game, it's clear that there's an homage to them in some way or another in this section of the map. So we're gonna head on over there. I don't believe there's actually any collectibles we can get over there, but we're gonna try to find these exact cliffs because I do want to kind of take a look and show it off. If I'm not mistaken, they're actually to my immediate left, so we're gonna head over this way. I guess that's going to take us to the forest, isn't it? Yeah, I guess it is. Okay, so we're going to head on through the forest then in that case. And we're going to go see if we can find these things, because that would be really cool. Now, one of the big theories was that the Eco Cliffs were actually over by where Quadratus's lair is. But I believe they're actually over on the edge of the ocean. You can actually get down onto this beach, though. That's like the major significance of this area, is most of the beaches you can't actually get down to in Shadow of the Colossus because they are just drop-offs into the void that will kill you instantly. Okay, I cut ahead because I didn't want to walk through the forest all slowly again and show all of that, but we're actually pretty close to where we're supposed to be going. While we're on our way, I want to talk about one other location that's incredibly notable and probably the most famous cut location, or it's not even cut, actually. It's in the game, or at least it is in the PS2 and PS3 version, that people have talked about for a very long time, and that is the dam. Now, the dam is actually on the other side of the map. It's over like on I-2, which is up kind of where Argus is, except for even further out. And there is an entire textured, solid made dam that exists over there. Yes, an entire structure that's just there and Wander can walk on, and it looks like it was meant for something, and it's just not. It's just not. You just can't get to it, but it's there. And it's one of the most interesting mysteries that is in the game. People call it P-Cole's Dam because it was originally discovered by one of the very first Shadow of the Colossus YouTubers, P-Cole Uploader, who found it by getting over the mountains and being able to walk on it and showing pictures of it and all that stuff. And it's really quite cool, actually. Kind of what sparked all the interest in Shadow of the Colossus and finding all of the hidden secrets that are within the game. So, by the way, I was wrong about being able to actually get down to this, at least from here. You might be able to from another way. Actually, let me see. Hold on. Yeah, there's not a way down here. Okay. I guess I was actually wrong about that. You can't actually just get down here if you'd like. But this right here is what we call Eco Beach, or the Eco Cliffs, which all take place right over here in, what is this, B5? B5, B4? All the way down here. And they've definitely changed some things in the remake. I think it actually looks even less similar to the beach in Eco in the remake, but this is supposed to be the location. A lot of people are pretty sure that it's an homage to Eco. I like to think that it is as well. I also do like to think that it wasn't 100% intentional, at least not from the start, but in a way it was kind of made that way, just because there's always sort of symbolic significance in Shadow of the Colossus, Eco, Last Guardian, all those things. And actually, no, there is a way down, I think. Well, you know what? Let's see if we can get down there. There's always some sort of symbolic significance in some way or another of in these games that's always present. And the thing you need to remember about Shadow of the Colossus is that there really is no limit to... There are no limits to what you can speculate about with this game, because I gotta hand it to them. I gotta hand it to Team Ico and Gen Design. They are the best secret keepers in the game industry. Like, they really are. And that's what makes these games so fascinating. They are so good at leaving things up to the imagination and yet hiding things well enough that even to this day, we still don't know everything. We still don't know what everything means. Which is just fascinating when you think about it. I mean, it's kind of unreal how, we've had this game for so long. I mean, there are games that come out now that they just cram full of secrets and people have the entire thing figured out in weeks. And this game has been out since 2005 and we still don't even know half of everything in it. We might know more than we like to think we do. There's only a couple people that really do know everything, and they're not going to tell us. They're probably going to take it to their graves. And I really do think that is what makes this so fascinating. Such a beautiful world that's worth exploring. That makes this more than just a game. It's really quite magical, actually. I'm always in awe. I'm always in awe. I'm always looking for more. I'm always wanting to find out more about this game. I'm always hungry for more. There's been people that have talked about, okay, well, will Shadow of the Colossus ever get like a sequel, like not Last Guardian, not Eco, a Shadow of the Colossus sequel where you fight 16 more Colossus and they're completely different and it's but it's the same designers and stuff like that. And you know what? That's probably never going to happen. And as much as I would love that, I'm okay with what we got because this game, it just never stops delivering. Even all these years later, this linear single-player game, and yes, I do believe that it is linear because it does not allow you to fight the Colossus in the order you choose. But this linear single-player game absolutely never stops delivering, and that's just unreal to me. It really is. So as we look off in the distance, off towards what might be the Griffin's Lair or something else that we can't see because the draw distance specifically won't allow us to, because there are probably cut things out there that they don't want us to see. I do want to say thank you all so very much for watching. I know this episode was pretty uneventful. I probably put an annotation or something at the beginning that says you can skip this episode if you'd like. But in the next episode, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be taking down the final Colossus. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.